I love the wilderness. I love the quiet, just wandering through the woods. Yeah, that's like my element. The forest is my sanctuary. My name's Ryan Moran, and I do woodworking. My business is Grinner Studio. I'm based out of Wingham, Ontario, and yeah, that's where I create. I love the challenge of making things. It's looking for that thing that you just can't get on the shelf. It's extremely custom cabinets, to spoons and bowls, to tables, chairs, anything that you're looking for that you just can't find. There's a lot of conversation with the customer, what their style is, the type of person, if they're very minimalist, make straight lines very smooth. If they're looking for something more whimsical, maybe live edge slab. In my travels, I've come across all sorts of different types of slabs of wood, and as the customer tells me what they're looking for, I'll start to have something in mind of the type of wood that would be good. The forest is where I'd like to be most of the time, but my school is the shop. It's where I practice my craft and hone my skills. Just putting more time into the piece. I put traditional joinery into it. It has a practical use, but it also looks amazing. I'm trying to build these things to last forever, like generationally. There's the natural ways to do stains. Oxidizing, stainless steel, green tea. Wood is an interesting material. It can warp, it can do all these things. I've gotten accustomed to how it's going to react, what it's going to do. Using the natural properties of wood, knots and stuff will show up. I'll inlay over top to balance the flow of the wood. If there's a crack in the wood, I can put a bow tie in. It looks cool aesthetically, but it's also serving a mechanical purpose. There's a pattern called yosegi in Japan, and it's taking a bunch of geometric shapes and then gluing them, and then you cut little thin pieces of wood off. I use it to cover knots. When there's time, I try to use the old school hand planes. The blades are sharp. You can be fairly accurate with it. My main style is Scandinavian, Japanese. Even like shaker fits into that as well. Very simple, ancient. It's very clean. It could fit in a modern house. It could fit in an old house. Timeless. The simplicity goes along with nature, and it has a contemporary, modern look to it. In this area, there's a lot of Amish and Mennonite, and they have sawmills and they have kilns and stuff like that. So there's a lot of interaction between me and the Amish and Mennonite community. I think it's really cool. There's something old worldly that somewhat draws back to what I see of using the hands. Taking the time, putting the work in, doing the right job. I can get an idea of what the shakers would have done by just driving down the road a bit. Doing something by hand, old school, you care for the pieces. It's very unpredictable what you're going to get in the wood. Something like elm will have little M's in the grain. There's other woods like spalted maple. It looks like somebody scribbled on it with a pen almost. Each piece of wood is completely unique. I work with wood. Looking at the trees, I might have to think a little, whereas Tim, it's second nature. Tim loves trees.
My name's Tim Prentice. I was formerly trained as an arborist and a forester. I cut a lot of wood that's dead or dying or in decay, and I hate to throw that stuff in the wood stove. Interesting, unique trees, hardwood burls, and wood that can be unique for specialists. It's not very common, that you can't find in the hardware store. So I found my friend Ryan. It's a nice tree that has to go because it's dead and hanging over the trail, and you can do what you want with it, whatever you think could be done with it.
Tim is very knowledgeable about trees. He's finding like these things that would usually just be cut and left in the ditch. I'm giving these things second life. That's our relationship.
Let's chop her down.
If it's got blight or it's going to die, so we need to cull it. If I can get it at the right time, I can turn that tree into something that'll last even longer.
So I like to keep my property and my forest as healthy as I can. If you leave the nice, healthy trees and take out the dead or dying or dangerous trees, it gives the healthy trees more room to grow.
If they've seen their full life and I can repurpose them into something useful that you'll pass down for generations, then to me that's a lot better of a footprint to put on the world. My work is for everyone. I'd like to see it in cottages, in high-rises, all over the world, wherever somebody deems it fit. If you're looking for that one custom piece, come find me. Yeah, I think I can hook you up.